bit windy today, but actually a really lovely late summer day in the Alps. It's getting a bit fresh, but in the sun it's nice. And since I got a bit of time, I thought that today I would like to show you the cabin. Hi everybody, my name is Rob, I'm a musician, and today I would like to show you exactly where I stay and talk a little bit about the studio that I assembled or patched together to be able to make music here in the Alps. So let's go and take a look around. So right here, this is basically our extended living room. This is where we spend most of the time if the weather's nice. We have a beautiful view over the valley. And usually the cows, but they decided to go a little further up the mountain, so there are no cows today. And besides being here ourselves and enjoying the time, this is also often where we host guests and where we try to keep good company. We have an open fireplace here, which is actually really nice. So this is where we cook if you want to cook outdoors, so to say an outdoor kitchen. And we also grew a bit of our own vegetables. Some of them work quite well, others don't. What worked quite well for sure were the herbs. So this really was very pleasant and really nice to have your own herbs here. So let's perhaps talk a little bit how things work here. I already mentioned that this cabin is self-sustained, so we don't necessarily have any connection to the outer world in terms of energy or heating or so on. So the electricity that we need is produced by, I hope you can see it, this solar panel, which basically collects sun and produces energy from it. And since it's not always sunny, and as you can see there are actually quite some clouds, we have battery storage as well. So while here's the entrance to the living area of the cabin, if we go the other side round, first of all got a nice sneak peek to the area where our chickens live. And here we basically have the, so to say, the storage area for everything that we need for being shepherds. This is also basically where we have the system that keeps us powered. And we basically have this huge battery here that acts as a power supply for the cabin and therefore of course also for my studio. And from here there are different circuits that basically go to the inner part of the cabin. And since this is a solar powered system, it's 12 volts only. Here in Austria most devices run on 220 volts. So I'm going to show you how we deal with that problem in just a minute. So since the whole energy system is on 12 volts, what I need is this power inverter here, which basically changes the voltage so that I can use it with the appliances that I have here, which is mainly the pedal board as well as the computer and in extension some lights. So if we approach the other side of the cabin and make our way towards the living area, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, there's a small fridge for food storage here in the back, which is actually gas powered. And right here, of course, there is no studio and actually no home without our trusty companions, which is Frodo and Sari. And Frodo and Sari are staying with us here in the cabin, and this is what it looks like the inside. So as you can see, it's actually just one, I wouldn't even say big room. We got a small cupboard for food storage here, our sink. Then we got a stove here, which is currently used for drying some mushrooms. This is wood powered, so this is also basically our heating system. So since in late August and September it's getting quite cold in here, we actually need to fire it up each day, in the morning and in the evening, and also during the day if we're staying here, because temperatures are quite low. So at night we have about, I would say between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius, and in the morning of course it's equally cold then. That door leads to the beds, and right here we got the studio. So basically the setup is actually quite simple. Most of the heavy lifting work is done by my trusty MacBook, and I do not have any monitors here. We only have a Bluetooth loudspeaker for listening to music and for me to check some mixes if needed. I work on headphones. These are the AKG, I think it's the K361 model. I'm actually really happy with those, and they work really well for what I'm doing. In terms of guitars, I brought my Mexican Stratocaster, as well as a precision bass, which is an EGC neck on, I think it is an 80s precision bass. I'm not too sure, it's heavily modified. I got it like that, and that sounds absolutely killer for everything that needs to be like really punchy and lolly. So I'm really happy with those two instruments that I have here. And those basically, or actually the guitar only, goes into the pedal board, which is down here. And from here, the signal is basically routed out in stereo into my Audient ID14, which then converts the signal and lets me process it in Logic Pro X. And if I need any additional instruments, I usually use this small Akai keyboard to either program drums or to program, or to not program, but to play synths and other instruments. So basically whatever I can't do on my guitar or my bass is done in the box on the computer. There are some guitar and bass cleaning materials here. Also got some fresh strings. Currently I play the Adario because I actually really like that they are recyclable, and I plan on recycling them. Some extra cables, string cutter. Yeah, that's actually quite interesting and quite funny. I brought a fuzz pedal and a noise gate, a second noise gate, because I thought of playing with them and using them, but they haven't ended up anywhere on the songs yet. Let's see if that changes. I also brought, of course, some picks, some other tools for guitar, and here's basically storage for chargers, pens, lenses, and everything else. basically how I work here and also with what I work here. I hope it was helpful for you. Perhaps this will also help you to assemble your own little home studio or portable studio rig for doing similar things. If you're planning on doing something like that, let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear what you have planned and what you would like to know about perhaps my little setup here. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope to see you soon.